and good morning from the office, North Georgia's only online live morning show. I am guest hosting for BKP, Brian K. Pritchard. And of course, on the board is Josh, who's doing a great job. As always, folks, Josh, would you show the people how they can find the show? Of course, you can follow Fetch Your News at Instagram, Twitter, and of course on YouTube. And the call-in number is below. This is the last segment, folks. I am going to remind you again to please lift up Brian and his family. Keep them in prayer. There is some illness in the family. And I forgot to mention, please lift up Josh and his friend's family. They have experienced a loss. Ask that God comfort them in their hour of need and give them strength to endure the loss. Let us not mourn the loss. Let us thank God that they lived. How about that? Okay, we're going to be talking about this Tlaib woman right quick. And of course, if you don't know who I am Derek Grayson, also known as T-Mott, the minister of truth. I pull no punches, and sometimes you might get gut punched. So be careful if you decide to, engage, because I don't hold back. All right. Brian, I'm sorry, listen, I keep calling you Brian. Josh, please run that first video from this Tlaib woman, if you don't mind, sir.
We'll say that Bernie Sanders came back. You guys are crazy!
You're an animal! Get a job!
Okay, folks, so that was from 2016 at a Trump rally. And of course, you can see this woman is just going off the deep end. After she was elected, she was doing another, I don't know if it was a press conference or a rally, but she referred to Trump as a MF. That's who people elected to represent them in their district. Now, let's look at Trump's response. Let's play that second video, please, Josh.
We have a deep state. We have bad people. We have sick people. I watched just this morning this Tlaib. From Michigan, right? It's a great state. We won Michigan. There's no way she stands for the values of the people of Michigan. But I watched her this morning. She's vicious. She's like a crazed lunatic. She's screaming. This is before she got into Congress. Who elected her? She's screaming like a total lunatic at one of our rallies. It's like I'm giving a little rally. And she starts screaming. And this is not a sane person, folks, when you look at that. And this is what...
But these are the people that their constituents vote for. This is what they do. And what we must understand, while I know the challenge might be difficult, in order to get rid of people like that, number one, you have to be willing to engage. Number two, you have to be willing to take the heat. Giving people the truth is the only way to overcome their ignorance. Now, that Tlaib woman, you probably will not get through her. And what I tell people all the time, God made hell for a reason, because some people are going to go. That is to say, some people will be like this when they see Jesus returning. Rocks fall on us, rather than to get on their knees and acknowledge a greater power, or in this case, to acknowledge the truth. That Tlaib woman, I doubt that she will ever acknowledge the truth, no matter how much you give it to her. But you can try and reach out to her constituents if you happen to be listening up in Michigan. It's one of the reasons why I never cease trying to expose rhinos in the Republican Party, because people have been awakened by my continued efforts, and I will not stop. I'm going to let the show end with a video, and Josh will take you on out. It's the last video from Bernie Sanders, and it is a hoot. Thank you for allowing me to be here on the show, Brian. Thank you, Josh, for being the engineer. Thank Josh. Thank all of you for having tuned in to the show by BKP Brian K. Pritchard from North Georgia. Good morning, folks. We'll close out with that last video, and we'll see you next time, hopefully, God willing. Peace.
Bernie Sanders is a laughingstock as his beloved socialism is once again being rightly shown to be a total scam. Sanders is feeling the burn of basic economics, and he's running into the brick wall of unintended consequences he was warned about over forcing the country into a federally mandated $15 an hour minimum wage. The stale do-gooder has been paying his field workers an annual $36,000 a year salary. But if they're knocking on doors and canvassing neighborhoods in Tevas and cargo shorts at presidential campaign strength, they'll have to put in closer to 60 hours a week. And that means their average pay is going to be about $13 an hour. And that makes Mr. Fight for 15 a big fat hypocrite. Bernie is learning the painful economic lessons other small businesses have been battling. When you're forced to pay that higher minimum wage, you have to either A, fire people, B, cut their hours, or C, automate. And robots are too rational for socialism. So now Bernie is having to cut staff hours by 30% in order to not be a communist fabulist. Senor Sandernista has always attracted true believers. These young, angry socialist ideologues unionized and got pissy when the collective bargaining didn't go their way, and now they're trying to publicly embarrass Sanders into capitulating to their entitlement. Bernie is now learning firsthand about this backlash from his one-size-fits-all pity policies, and maybe he can finally see how bad results are never worth their good intentions. When it comes down to the wire, and Bernie needs his own squad of field workers door-knocking 60 hours a week, instead of giving him a lifeline and an extra hand at crunch time, they'll probably tell the embattled senator to instead go jump in a lake. And that's the memo.